Hello, welcome to another Searchbug tutorial. Today we're going to show you how to upload a list of customer names and addresses to get their phone numbers appended to your file. From the Searchbug homepage, navigate to the menu labeled Batch. From the Batch menu, there are several different batch services you can choose. Append phone number, name and address, verify phone number type, or verify email address. We want the first one. Now, we have two different types of phone number append services, our standard service and our premium data source service. Our premium data source service includes home numbers, work numbers, cell phone numbers, VoIP numbers, and pretty much any other phone number that's out there. Our standard service only includes landline residential numbers. Let's say you have a list of 1,000 names and addresses that you need the phone numbers for, and you're not sure how much that's going to cost. So if you'll enter 1,000 here, you'll get an estimate, and that's the most it will cost. We only charge for a hit. So if we find one phone number out of 1,000, you're only going to get charged for the number of hits we get. The average number of hits ranges between 40 and 45%, all the way to 60-65%. It's somewhere currently in the mid-50s. We've seen poor hit numbers when information doesn't match, and we've seen fantastic hit ratios when everything matches. So that's why we're saying there's an average of in the 50s right now. So if you uploaded a file of 1,000 records and we found 530 of them, that would be a 53% match, and you would only pay this amount, not the actual original estimate. So you would only be charged for this. Now, this would be the charge for the standard service, and this would be the charge for the premium sources service, where phone numbers only are going to get appended. This service finds a lot of other things, addresses, names, and some other information that we're going to be adding later. Now, should you need some help in determining how you should upload your file or the format, all the help and instructions are down here. This is information for phone number only option, and this gives you some information about when you would select that option. So once you know which service you want, you click Choose File. Now I'm going to just grab a small sample file over here, and then you're going to click Open, and it's going to pop the file name in there, and then you'll hit Continue. Now, because you're not logged in, there'll be an extra process, an extra step here to log in. You can either log in before you do this process, which would reduce one of the steps, or you can do it when we get to the pay step. Now, because you want phone numbers only, make sure you check this box, phone numbers only. Now, because my example spreadsheet had a header row, each column is already identified. So you would want to just make sure that your column names were identified properly. So this is going to be the first name column, this is going to be the last name column, this is going to be the address column, and for our example, we do want the apartment numbers or the additional numbers if it's a street, an apartment, a suite, townhome, whatever the number is, make sure that it's in the address. So in this example, some of the addresses had a suite number outside the address column. So we're going to label that Do Not Use. The next column is a city, then state and zip code. Now, because you can upload 20 or so columns here, any column that you don't want to use that has erroneous data in it, make sure it has this Do Not Use selection. Now, especially if you had a column here of phone numbers, you're going to have to label that Do Not Use, because if you upload a spreadsheet asking for phone numbers and it has phone numbers in it, you're going to end up with 0 hits. So make sure that Do Not Use is properly selected for the columns that don't need to be selected. Then once you're all done with that, continue to the next step. And now we're going to review the order. Now here it's going to tell us how many records we have in our file and how much the cost is. Now, because we have a minimum $5 charge, that is there. So if you had that 1,000 records, it would have that amount here. That would be the most it would be. Now, because we have very few records, we can process this now and just wait and keep the browser open. If there are too many records or you don't want to keep your browser open, we'll have another option here for larger files that will say scheduled processing, and you'll click that, and once it's done, then you'll get an email telling you it's done, and you'll have a link to get the results. But from here, we would go ahead and click process my data, and I would have to get to the pay step, and it would say sign up and order. Now if you're already logged in, it would just skip to process, and then it would be done, and you would get an email with your results, or you get them in your account once you signed in. And that's how it works. If you have any questions, feel free to call our toll-free number or give us a email at support@searchbug.com, or check the help and instructions on the back page. Thanks again for watching.